Hi, I'm Kevin Moen.
And I'm Jason Buck, and we're K&J giving you a Palos Verdes market update. Boy, things have heated up.
Yeah, well, we're at that time frame. It's April rolled in, and along with that came the market activity we kind of anticipated, with a very active week and a very active market.
So in the last week, from March 29th to today for April 3rd, there were 62 new things between homes that are coming soon, active, in escrow, and sold.
Yeah.
And a lot of actives. We got 30 new actives with 5 coming soon. So this
Right.
is a new one that's coming out on Via Cornell at the pretty much
Right.
the lowest price we've seen, under $2 million.
Yeah, and it's a cute little house. You know, it has a few limitations regarding room size and whatnot, but the price reflects that. So anybody that's looking to get into that Lanada Bay, Palos Verdes marketplace at the low end, it represents a great opportunity. And it'll be interesting to see kind of the market reaction at that price point. You know, we have overall seen a degree of activity on listings where you're getting maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 offers. It'll be interesting to see if this gets back to a point where you're maybe getting 6, 7, 8 offers to choose from if you're priced at that price point down in the low end of the market.
Yeah, and this is a strategy coming soon that developed in the last couple of years, where an agent can then say, hey, we have this listing coming out.
Right.
It starts showing tomorrow, so it'll be open over the weekend.
Right.
And it gives us an opportunity to kind of say, hey, you know, if you're still in the market looking for a home,
Right.
maybe we want to take a peek at this one.
Right.
So,
yeah.
All right, if we go into actives, one of my favorites on this list is going to be 9 Maverick, which is in the rolling hills.
Right.
I mean, the view goes from the coastline and the ocean all the way to the other side with Long Beach. A really neat architectural style. Just a beautiful property.
Yeah.
4 acres.
And at the end of a cul-de-sac, it's a very, very quiet location, not too far from actually where I live, so I'm very familiar with this neighborhood, but has phenomenal view. A piece of ground that's pretty big, but you know, it's a little hillside oriented, but the big call here is the view.
The view's outstanding.
Yeah.
You walk into a vaulted ceiling. It's panoramic. It feels private. You know, Rolling Hills is a different animal. It's a gated community. All the properties are horse properties. They have a homeowners association that's actually, as we've seen in Palos Verdes Estates, it helps preserve the value of those properties because there's nothing too crazy. There's a lot of really interesting history. As Kevin said, he lives there. If you're thinking about that kind of stuff, you know, it's your best interest to call us and talk about the lifestyle, about the access, about the distance to get to the market and so forth. And we can bring you great data there. So that was that one. One on the other side of the hill that I kind of liked was Saddle. I don't know if you made it over there. That was fairly interesting. It was kind of an artsy house, cement floors, cool architecture. It felt like Palm Springs and a pool. That was a neat one. And then let's see what else. There's a Saddle here. So pretty artsy. It's got the orange and that other stuff. He had actually pink doors. But the other one that's going to get a lot of attention is Rulengo. So ocean views are still really driving the market, and buyers are really flocking to those properties.
Yeah, and a lot of people ask too, what value component does a view add? And it's really subjective. I mean, a value component to a view property versus a non-view one could be anywhere from $100,000 to $1 million, depending on what the orientation is, what the house is all about. But I've seen most of our high intensity bidding wars have been surrounding those homes that have dramatic views.
And this one is a dramatic ocean view.
Yeah.
It's got some limitations with the little bit of traffic noise and the architectural appeal, but those create opportunities for someone that's savvy and or you know, wants to change it up.
You can always modify a house. You can't modify a view per se.
Or a location for that matter. Yeah. So that's why they say location, location, location. So those are some of the top new actives. Once again, 30 new actives in the last week. That's a big pickup.
Yeah, and that's great from a buyer's perspective. It creates options. It's once again reflective of this time frame where a lot of people are making plans. Hopefully by the summer they've sold their home, they've moved somewhere else. So we're in that prime market dynamic of a lot going on.
It's been busy.
Yeah.
And I actually have a big ocean view coming up, and it's, you know, it'll be on this weekend. It's just it's a busy time. Let's look into what's gone into escrow, and one of the outstanding ones that was just really a shocker is this 2804 Paseo Del Mar, not on the cliff side of the street,
Right.
listed just over 10. I know the house. It is an incredibly well built home. And it got attention and sold pretty quick.
Yeah, and that's another good sign that, our market over 10 million has been relatively flat over the last year. So it's good to see immediate activity on a really palatial, estate,
Yeah.
and that the buyers reacted to it.
So you're 8,300 feet at roughly
Right.
1,300 a foot. I mean, it didn't take long. So there are people in that marketplace. It says built in 2010, so it was relatively new. Another one was the Via Rivera. That went into escrow. It was a cute little home towards the end of the cul-de-sac, the street there. They had a couple offers, so that worked. And then another one that I thought was really interesting was 2137 Chelsea. I never got to see it. It sold pretty quick.
Right.
It shows Lower Lanada Bay is one of those desirable areas. This one doesn't have a view, but it sold very
great
fast.
location, great walkability of the neighborhood and everything. So there's always a high demand element in that Lower Lanada Bay area.
So we had 18 that went into escrow in this last week, and then we had 9 sold, which is reflective of that slower time period over the last few weeks. Yeah, it takes a month or two for these places to close. So one of the outstanding closes was your sale on Altmar.
Yeah, there we go. And that's speaking of the view orientation. This was a dramatic ocean coastline view home that we were on the market for about a week, and we had multiple offers, and we're able to find the right buyer and get it closed. But once again, it speaks to the demand element for views versus non-views.
And that's actually pretty neat too, because it seems like we're finding those pockets and we're getting listings in them. So there's quite a few listings on Cornell.
Right.
There's some more stuff coming here in this lower Malaga Cove.
Right.
You've got the lower Lanada Bay stuff happening, and stuff either in Point Vicente or in the other areas. What else? There was another house that you liked that let's see here. Interest rates. I got some notes here, but sometimes it's hard to keep track of all this.
Well, there's a lot going on. That's why, it's a market that has a lot of condos, townhomes, single family homes available now. A lot of things that are actively engaged in offers. When we look at the whole South Bay overall, I'm looking at some things in the Torrance marketplace, one of which had 15 offers on it. So, those prices are escalating as well. So overall, it's a great time, a lot going on. I would advise anybody that's thinking of buying right now to prepare yourself, getting pre-qualified, getting all your documents in place, because in a competitive market, you may end up finding it beneficial to waive your loan contingency, your appraisal.
To compete.
But in order to do that, you have to have 100% confidence that your lender who you're associated with can perform and those type of things.
That's great advice.
Get prepared.
So let's dive into that just briefly here. When you go to a bank, like a big bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, or Chase, they have a specific set of guidelines and kind of like almost a checkbox thing, where if you fit this one, you get a point or a bonus, but if you don't, then they take away, and they kind of skew those lines to give you what they're going to say is your interest rate based on your FICO score and your debt to equity ratio. Or you look at a mortgage broker who then will build a portfolio for you and then shop you against other investors or lenders, so to say, to complete. So I did one of those in escrow now. We're removing contingencies, and he got a really low rate, well under 6%.
Yeah.
So that really did have a big factor in why we're so busy right now, is that those interest rates have come down, and it's really wise for you to check based on your own portfolio where you lie in that marketplace, because it may oftentimes even give you more availability to spend more. So
you want to be prepared to act and know that your qualification scenario is all taken care of. You don't want to make that a guessing game. Once you find a house, you make an offer, and now all of a sudden you're trying to figure out if you qualify for it or you can afford it or
what your monthly is.
And that's what we spend a lot of time in a preparation of going out to look at property. It's all predicated on our clients who have already gone through this initial round, and hey, they're 100% confident in a price point, in acting on it. So if you need some help with that or some advice, let us know. We can give you some contact info.
Yep. So our objective here is really just to kind of give you an idea of what's happening. I know it's probably really hard to see these pictures and things, so just write to us, DM or call, whatever. We'll send you the analysis. And our objective is really just to make sure that you feel comfortable and have great options for when you want to move.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching.